Okay, folks, so we just finished playing around with our paragraph styles. Here they are. And now I'm ready to build a little bit more of this layout in InDesign. So I'm going to be working with color blocks. I'm going to be working with breaking text apart into different text boxes and kind of using this general layout for inspiration. So let me close my paragraph styles. Actually, I'm going to bring them over here to the dock, the palette dock. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer. Now this layer needs to be between the inspiration crop inspiration crop image and the text. So I'm going to click on inspiration crop because when I click on that and create a new layer, it should go right above it. Now if you don't have that layer selected and you click on the text layer and you click the new layer button, it'll go above that one. Now don't fear, you can move these around. Okay, so I just click and drag it down. Now I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to call this background graphics. And I hit OK. Now I'm currently on this layer. It looks like it's green, and so every bounding box I draw will have a little green line around it, just as these text boxes have red, and the inspiration crop has a blue line around it. Okay. I'm going to turn off the text layer just momentarily. Make sure I'm off of that layer. It's blue, so that means I'm on it. So I'm going to click on the background graphics layer. And I'm going to actually use the rectangle tool. Now, this doesn't contain a picture or anything, so I'm using the one without the X in it. If it has an X in it, that references that that is a frame for a graphic or picture. But if you're just going to simply fill a box with color, you can use just a rectangle tool. Now, I am drawing this outside of the page area. You can see it's out here. And you want at least an eighth of an inch bleed whenever you're dealing with stuff like this. Now you'll see that the bounding box is indeed green. And then I want to pull this to kind of go with where the position of that box is. Now I'm going to fill it out with a color, but I don't know which color yet because I really don't have that color choice in my swatches just yet. So let's sample some color. Now I'm going to go back to layers, and I'm going to unlock my inspiration crop layer. And I'm also going to click on the image, go to effects, or click on the layer rather, and go to effects. And I thought I had changed that opacity down, but for some reason it shows 100%. Now let me try it with the white arrow tool. Aha, you click on the background and then you can adjust the opacity. Okay, so the black arrow tool, known as the selection tool, it also, you can do opacity with that too, but I just so happen to have had this selected with the direct selection tool when I had adjusted that opacity. So if you're having a similar issue, you may have to toggle between the direct selection tool and the selection tool. Now, I'm going to click off of this graphic it was selected, and I'm going to do some color sampling. So I'm going to bring up my swatches panel, and I'm going to go over here to the tools panel. I'm going to grab the eyedropper tool, and I will zoom in a little bit. Now this isn't really a great scan, but you can get a good color range here. And this does, if I click on this, it will click on a specific pixel. So I'm trying to look in this range of pixels for an average. And this is kind of a maroon color. If I want something a little bit lighter, I might click on a little bit lighter pixel. Okay, you can't really tell, but that is changing. So here's my color fill. If I want to add that to the swatches panel, you can right click on it and click add to swatches, and it'll show up. Now the bad thing is this is RGB. Now if you want to double click on that, you can make this CMYK. Okay, so anything that is RGB should be switched to CMYK. And I have 4 RGB files here, RGB colors, and 1 CMYK that I've built. These are the predetermined colors in InDesign defaults. So while I'm here, I might as well just go ahead and make each one of these RGB colors CMYK. Okay. RGB is great for the monitor, so if you're creating a PDF of your resume to show on the web, then RGB is fine, but this is a print document. Okay, now I'm going to hit Command 0 on a PC. That would be Control 0. I'm going to select the box that I drew, and I'm going to fill it with that red color. Now it's not showing up. Let's see. There we go. And I want to stroke it. Stroke looks like a square little donut. Stroke it with none. Now, oftentimes people can't see the strokes on things. Let me go ahead and stroke that again. You can't see the strokes on things in this regular view because the bounding box, which in this layer is green, the bounding box is in the way. So make sure you make your strokes none, because they will print and you'll be really disappointed when you get your print. You see these black lines all over everything. Okay, so I sampled a color and I created a color, basically a color bar. This color could also be used, it looks like, for the typography and for these. I've got some dotted lines. Now I'm not sure exactly what to do with the dotted lines yet. I might do dotted lines, I might not. I might use imagery, I might not. But the overall layout is what I'm interested in, and I'm trying to duplicate it reasonably close. Reasonable facsimile. Okay, so if I wanted to make a dotted line, I would actually use this pen tool. And I can click just to get it started, but when I click and drag the direction of my next curve, you'll see behind me it created this curve. Now, so I won't be confused, I will fill this with none, and I will stroke it with that red color. There we go. Now it looks like a line, not a shape. But you can see this curve is going through things. Again, I'm clicking and I'm looking behind me, back here, not looking forward. And then it kind of curves and does something like this. And it comes down and does something like this. Does some really little weird loop-de-loop thing. Whoops, I hit Command Z. I think I got that kind of wrong. It goes down like so. And it makes a loop-de-loop. And then I'm going to stop it. Now, it's kind of silly for me to even do this right now because my text isn't in there. But I do have some opportunity to be able to speak to line and the use of line, and line can be a kind of a creative little element. Now you can have it wider dashed, or you can have it narrower dashed, or you can actually, if you went over the strokes panel, there it is, you can actually create a custom dash. So if you want a 12-inch dash not 12-inch, 12-point dash and a let's say a 20-point gap, and then a 12-point dash. You can see that this is conforming to that. Now I'm going to hit Command Z because what I had was just fine. So you can play around with custom dashes. Now again, I may not use this. It's just something I wanted to show you about the pen tool. Where'd he go? There he is. And playing with various lines, or what we call strokes. Okay, I'm going to turn on my layers for my text. There we are. Turn off the background layer. I'm going to hit the W key as well. Already this looks not too bad, and I haven't really done much. So let's push on. Now Jane Doe, the name, that needs to be that same reddish color. Profile needs to be red, but since I have created a paragraph style, I don't want to just click on it and then come over here and click on red. Okay, or whatever, maroon color. That's bad idea, because then I have to do each and every single one of these, and I don't have all day. So I want to triple click on this. I want to go to paragraph styles, double click on the paragraph style, go to character color, choose the color I prefer, and you'll see that it changed all of them. There we go. So even though paragraph styles take a little bit to learn, they save you a ton of time and effort in the long run. So that was not too bad. Now I'm going to hit the W key again, and I'm going to turn on my layers, my layer for my inspiration. Better lock that layer. All right, so I might put a graphic here. This could be something I've illustrated. Again, I'm not going to put a photograph of myself, but I could put an illustrated self-portrait in here. These big chunky graphics, you know, they're okay. I might decide to put an infographic out there or something. The online portfolio business, yeah, I probably could go ahead and hit a couple of returns to get that moved down there, and it should be also this red color. There we go. Now I'm going to hit the W key.